There we go. All right, now let's see. Can you guys see that? Yeah. And it should be good there. All right, so we're gonna go through and do the volume of this one right here. So now, along with the standard that we did the other day, so this one goes along with it. So we have GMD1. So when it's time to actually do your concept recovery, you're gonna know which one you guys have. And GMD3, again with concept recovery here. All right, so now volume of a cone. So this is where we go ahead and start putting in some formulas for this one right here. So we already wrote down the formula, so please fill that in from what you just did from your handy dandy. So for this one, I'm gonna throw in my formula with my blue pen, which I cannot seem, there it is. 1/3 pi r squared h. And I'm going to identify the piece that I'm talking about. Let's see if I can do this here. Nope. A little bit better. Okay. All right, so this is the piece right here, which is going to be the base of my object. So for this one, I actually got some shapes, went and got them for you guys. Okay, so this is going to be my cone. Okay, so if you notice right here, if I look at it, and this is a cross section of it right here, this is a cross section that is going to be parallel to the base, or because it is a base. All right, so now, and then I turn it, it goes around like this, right? And looking down on it, and I don't know, someone wanted to play with it last year and they decided, hey, I'm gonna throw it, and they ended up breaking the tip off, so that's why I can't have nice things. Anyway, all right, so this is what we have. So now, for this, the base is gonna be this circle right here. So it's gonna be that circle, and it's gonna be times the height going up from here to here. So that's where we get the circle part of this right here. The height is going up, and 1/3 is because it's going to be a cone or a pyramid. So they both get those values. So now for this example right here, let's go ahead and do the math on this one. So volume is equal to 1/3 pi radius. My radius here is actually from the center out to the edge. So from the center to the edge right here, this one's going to be 20 squared. All right, so there's the circle part. That's my circle. 1/3 goes along with the cone and pyramid, then times the height. How tall is this thing going to be? 37. Okay, like that. Okay, then go ahead, put this in my handy dandy calculator. If I could find mine. There you go. All right, so let's take a look here. Can you guys see that? There we go. Let me turn up the brightness. Control plus. There you go. All right, so now for right here, I'm gonna have my 1/3. So 1 control divide is gonna give me my 1/3, right? Over parentheses right there, pi button. Okay. Parentheses, 20, close, square, right? Close that again, so we have, just like I'm writing on here, so I have my, all that inside there, and I close it, and now it's times the height, which is my 37, close right there. Okay, and let's round it to a 1/10, like my calculator already has. So my volume is going to be about 1,549.8.5. Now, what are my units here? Inches. Class, pay close attention to the inches. So it's going to be inches, and if area is always square, volume is always cubed. Thank you. It's always going to be cubed, unless we're dealing with liquid like we were with our warm-up problem. Our liquid, a liter, is actually already a cubic unit. Okay? Because you're not going to take water and actually try to measure it with a ruler. That's the reason why. Anyway, now let's take a look at this one right here. This one is my volume of a pyramid, so volume is equal to 1/3. Now, what type of base do I have here? A rectangle, very good, it is a rectangle. So I'm going to identify the base like this. So the base is going to be a rectangle, so that's what goes in right here. That's what goes in next. So it's going to be length times width, okay? Length times width, which is going to be 23 times 37. So there's that base, and now it's going to be times the height, right? The height on this one's going to be 25. Very good. Yes. Wow, didn't I? Oh, yeah. Good job. I was testing you right there. That's what it was. 23 times 37. Because we already wrote down the formula a little bit ago in the handy dandy, so I like totally skipped it. Sorry. 1/3. So this is going to be base times length, or length times width, times my height. Base times length, or length times width right here, times my height. Yes?
I thought it was 1/3 and then in parentheses 1/2 base times
Okay, look at the base. This base right here is a rectangle, isn't it? Wasn't that other one has a triangle?
Oh.
That's why.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, all right. So now we have this base times length. Go ahead. We can plug it in. Okay. Plug it into the calculator. Make sure the calculator's on the screen. And I get my, again, 1/3. 1/3. And then I have my 23 times 37 times 25. And so if you notice, it gives me a fraction. How do I clear up that fraction? There we go. Control Enter. There we go. Control Enter. And so it's going to round to a 1/10. So my volume is going to be about 7091 point. What is my 10th value here? 7. It's going to be a 7. What are my units? Feet cubed. Very good. Like that. Okay. Questions there? No, not bad, right? Okay, let's go ahead and try this now. So for this next one, what if you're not given the height? That's going to be important. If we're not given the height here, so that means that I need to find for the height of this one right here. So I'm going to do the algebra on this first. Volume equals 1/3 right here, and then it's going to be pi r squared times my height, like this. Now, isn't all this right here multiplying by the h? Yes. Okay, I could divide it, okay, but I'm going to start by doing some basic first. I'm going to get rid of the fraction. How do I get rid of a fraction right here? How do I get rid of my 1/3? Multiply both sides by, not the same, the bottom, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to multiply this side by 3 and also this side by 3. So I have 3v equals pi r squared times my height. Because this,
And also multiply by 3 at the end.
this, and this will cancel. What?
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm dividing by 3, because the 3 on the bottom means a division. and this one right here. So it's going to cancel those, so I'm left with over here now. All right, so now I have this. All this is multiplying by the h. How do I undo a multiplication? Come on, class. Divide, right? Yes? Okay. Divide everything by pi r squared. So now these will cancel. Use my red right here. Those will cancel, so I'm left with h is equal to 3v divided by pi r squared. So I did the algebra on this. So you think this would be good to have in your notes somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, because when we're solving for h, you're going to just use this formula every time to solve for h. Now, let's go ahead and plug in the formula now. We have a couple things here. Okay, so we have a couple different values here. So let's go ahead and take a look and put this one in our handy dandy, because you're going to have to solve for this on more than one occasion. So please, right now, everyone, right next to your cone formula, right next to the cone formula, please add this in. So if you're solving for h, that's another way of doing this. And I guarantee you one of these odd questions are going to be on the test.
Wait, so put that whole equation next to the cone?
Next to that one. That's if you're solving for your h instead of solving for your v. Yes? 3? Yes. 3v divided by pi r squared. So that's doing the algebra first. And then now let's take a look at this problem, what we have here. All right, what type of triangle do we have there? A right triangle. So we have a right triangle. Is there a way to find a missing side of a right triangle?
Yeah.
What's the theorem? I heard it. Pythagorean? Yes. Okay, good. Pythagorean. So, now let's take a look at what we have here. So I'm going to transfer this one over here to my back of the page right here, so it's underneath. So I'm going to have a triangle. And right here it has a something like this, dot, 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 and a solid line right there. Okay, so this is my h, this is my 15, and this is 9, and this is a right triangle here. All right, so now on this problem right here, if I have a right triangle, like I do, Pythagorean theorem is how we have to go through and try and solve for my missing side. So this is an h, this is my 15, and this is a 9. So if I'm plugging in Pythagorean theorem, which one's my c value?
15.
15? Did I lose everyone here? Or did everyone fall asleep on me? No? Maybe? Yes, that guy did, but you know what? If you have questions, please, seriously, you know, can I get an amen or something that I'm following along at least? Oh, okay, I get that. All right. Anyway, so right here, is everyone okay that this is Pythagorean theorem? Yes, it is Pythagorean theorem. So I'm going to try and solve for my h value. So it's going to be h squared plus 9 squared equals 15 squared. Let's go ahead and do my math. So I need you guys to help me with the math here. So h squared plus 81 equals, what's 15 squared? 225? Yes? Okay, what do I have to do to get my h by itself?
Subtract.
Thank you. Subtract 81. H squared is equal to, what do we get? 225 minus 81? 144. Now, how do I undo my square here? Square root, thank you. H is equal to the square root of 144, right? So H is equal to 12. So now I could redo this. And so now, let's take a look. I'm going to have so now I have 9, and now I have 12. So my height is now 12, right? Yes. My height is 12. My radius is 9. Okay? So my height is 12, my radius is 9. So let's go ahead and take a look at the formula now of the cone. Volume is equal to 1/3. Okay? So now for this one right here, what is the base? The base is a circle. There we go, it's a circle. So now that means right here, area of a circle, pi r squared, right? Times my height. Yes? Okay, so V is equal to 1/3 pi. My radius here is 9 squared times my height, which is
12.
Thank you. There we go, right? All right, so let's go through and actually plug this into the calculator. Plug it into the calculator. I just said something on top of my calculator. Raw. Okay, so let's see. I have 1/3. And I have my pi, parentheses, pi. And then I have my 9 squared, right? Close it, times my 12. And I come up with my volume is going to be, let's say, 1017 point what? 9. 88, but let's round to a 10th right here. Yes. 1017.9. What are my units on this one? What is the units on my thing? Centimeters. There we go. So 1017.9. Okay, so now we got that one there. So now let's take a look at this one here. This next one is going to be similar to what we just did. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this one. So now, this is again going to be a right triangle, isn't it? So I'm going to transfer this one to the back page again. So my shape, I'm going to start off with some type of rectangle. And go here, and then this side goes to there, there, and my there to there is 10 inches, where here is 12 inches, and we're missing the height here. It's going to be the height. So if I'm looking at this, I want to take a look at my triangle, just the piece that's going to be my triangle. Okay, that is my right angle. That means that this value here is how much? 10. Very good. Now, you ready for the tricky part? What's this value down here? It's not. Oh, yeah, you're right, it is. See? I was getting ready for the no already. All right. 6. Yeah, I thought it was tricky. Everyone got it already. Why is it 6? There we go. It's half the distance, right? So if it's all the way across is 12, half the distance is only going to be 6 there, right? Okay, that's what we're looking for. Okay, so now that means we're still solving for the height, right?
Yeah.
So again, what are we going to do? Pythagorean theorem. So I'm going to have h squared plus 6 squared equals 10 squared. All right, let's go ahead and do the math right here. All right, so h squared plus 36 equals 100. Go through, subtract. So subtract 36 from both sides. H squared is equal to 64. Yeah. I'm taking a stab at this. All right, to undo the square, h is equal to the square root of 64. H is equal to, what is it? 8. Very good, 8. All right, so now we have that right there. So now I have the height of this. So now let's take a look at my formula. Now, the shape of the base is going to be this piece right here, right? What's the shape of that base? Rectangle. So my volume is equal to, what goes out front?
12.
Nope.
Oh no.
1/3. Thank you. 1/3. Always. Pyramids and codes always get the 1/3. Times. If this is a rectangle or a, what else could this be instead of a rectangle? Square. Do you think it's a square? Yeah, it is going to be a square because they only give us one side here, so that means it's going to be 12 by 12 right here. Okay, so it's implying it's a square, so it's going to be 12 times 12, so that's the area of the base right here, times my height. The height of this, that's what we just went to go find, right? So we get 8. So let's handy dandy calculator this. So 1/3 parentheses 12 times 12 times 8, and I come up with 384. So volume is 384. What are my units? Inches cubed. Very good. Inches cubed. So let's go ahead and transfer that over here. So my volume was formula 1/3 12 times 12 times 8. So volume is 384 inches cubed. All right. There we go. And the last one is going to be volume of a sphere. Volume of a sphere. Okay, so now volume of a sphere, we just did this one recently. So I just added this. Okay, 4/3 pi r cubed. Find the volume of a sphere with a radius of 8 centimeters. So the only value I need for this one is my radius. That's all I need is the radius. So I already give you the formula, which is here. So this is going to be, volume is 4/3 pi, my radius is 8, cubed. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that one. So it's 4/3, 4/3 pi. My radius is 8. And now to do the cube, I want you guys to pay attention right here. Do the cube, it's going to be caret. This thing right here, this button is called the caret. It's next to the x squared. And then you put in your 3, hit enter. So I'm going to get 2144.7. And my units are centimeters cubed. All right, you guys good?